What's up, peoples? How's everybody doing today? This is my Friday video. Thanks for watching. Bye. I was just in the house and I got up this morning. It was sunny. Took my son to school, then took my other son. He's 4. We went out and did a little bit of shopping for basically the summer. I went out to look for, I was looking for an air mattress and a few camping supplies, namely a generator, because the generator is just something I've never had and I've always wanted camping, but I'm usually too broke to buy all these fancy camping things. But you know, there's an entire market of REI crap, which is camping gear. You know, I don't know if REI is a nationwide company. I'm assuming they are, but I know it's a Northwest thing. So basically, I went out and bought one of these standing stoves, 2-burner stoves, a nice Coleman one, I think, for camping, like a 5-gallon propane tank. Hook it up to so you can cook. I've always cooked on these little crappy like burners on the ground and spill my water and my coffee everywhere. It's just a nightmare. And it's just these simple things you can buy. But I don't want to spend the money because, you know, obvious reasons. Money is money. So I went out the other day to buy one of those canopies. It's a little 10x10 canopy that you can camp underneath and at least put your stuff under. Something that everybody at Burning Man has. And I'm going to Soak next week. So in about 6 days I'm leaving next Thursday in the morning for Soak. And I want to make sure I have everything. So I went to buy this thing. It was on sale like half price for $60 for a canopy. And while I was there, I ended up spending $100 on a damn burner, you know. But I realized how important it was to cook, of course. And how to have a comfortable scene when you're camping. Anyhow, today I went out and I bought an air mattress and a couple other things, and I started thinking about this. I came back and I was like, you know, every year this is something that occurs to me, the fact that for thousands of years we lived off the land. We had no choice. We built the best shelters we could, and if we could escape the elements into a nicer shelter, we'd take that opportunity. And it wasn't until, say, the 40s, 50s that camping really became a thing at all. I mean, before that, sure, people would go out and go hiking, and they would take trips and go on sabbaticals and voyages. But when it came to leaving your home to drive a short distance away into the woods to sleep in a tent, it's just such a silly, preposterous thing when you really think about it, you know, that our society has become so encroached on one another that we feel the need to leave our homes to go out into the woods to get away. Over the years, I've kind of changed that mentality. I know it's something that I grew up with. My dad took me camping a lot, you know, out to the desert and stuff. Walking out here in my backyard, I have plants and grass and trees, and I can see the same sky. I mean, but it's the perception of where I'm at. It's the perception of being not in a faraway place, you know. It's hard to explain, but it's all mental. The mindset that we have about where we're at and where we want to be and where we should be. Over the years, I've realized that it's that old saying, wherever you are, there you are. You know, I mean, what do you do? I try to get away as much as possible, but not for the sake of getting away as much anymore. It's interesting because I'm usually being at home, I'm only exposed to my family generally, and friends that stop by. And I was thinking, when I go to events now, I tend to go to places where a whole bunch of people are hanging out. So rather than going out to the woods to get away, these days we're going to events where people are all, you know, going out for the same purpose, to get together, in other words. Like Soak for me it's like my yearly escape from reality, but I'm not really escaping anything. It's like all the noises of the city and of life, and I think, oh, I can't wait to go to Soak to get away from everything. And you get there and it's just a bunch of generators running, DJs cranking up the bass all night long, constant noise and bombardment. But I love it. I just love it. It's all about how it's perceived up here, I guess. I feel like a lot of folks want to get away from each other. Like we've kind of yearned to escape one another. And I can see why, because people can be pretty lame. It's easy to turn on the news or read an article about somebody who did something bad and think that the whole world's falling apart. Which was a separate video I was going to make, but I just figured I'd lump it in here, because, you know, good news doesn't make the news. You're not going to read 10 stories about the parents who fed their kids breakfast and sent them off to school and gave them hugs and read them bedtime stories. That's not news. But you will hear the news about the guy that locked his 1-year-old in a cage and left him at home, or left a newborn on the top of his car in the seat, or whatever it might be. The bad things that we do, or the things that we don't accept in one another. The things that we're intolerant to, that we say, that's just ridiculous, how could you do that? And usually it's when somebody's endangering a child or someone else, or abusing someone. And I guess I'm saying this because we hear the stories, but we don't hear all the other stories, you know? You might have this ratio of, you know, how many thousands of people are killed by these every year, but you don't hear about how many billions of people aren't, because it doesn't really motivate people to want to hear about the average. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that most people are good, I think, for the most part. It's easy for me to, I get frustrated by people sometimes, but I don't know. I'm going to make a separate video about that and do some thinking, so I'll upload that in a bit.